Hello everyone, this is Kathleen and I am here to show you my April All About That Base Junk Journal Challenge 2021 journal today. The challenge was by DearJulieJulie here on YouTube, and I always enjoy when I can complete one of her challenges. There are a couple of things on this journal that were not part of the challenge. I have to explain that, particularly this metal journal book plate here. That was not on the list. So I took a picture of the finished journal and posted it on the challenge and then added the book plate. So just want to explain that up front. Anyway, it's a pretty large journal. I used a recycled book for the cover and did this pretty collage here on the front. I just used the simple button elastic closure on this one, and I did do a video demonstration that is posted about how to make that. I had a couple of you ask about how to do that, so I have demonstrated that. Now it's up. This book has 3 signatures. There are about 170 pages in it, so again, it's large. It's 9.5 inches this way and 6 1/4 inches this way, and the spine is 1 1/4 inches. So let's go inside and I'll show you what I was able to do. Again, there were a list of required elements for the challenge, and I think I've covered everything that we had to use and make. It was largely, the challenge was about making bases and then embellishing them later, all about that base. And so this is one of the bases that I made here in this initial pocket. I've done some stamping and stenciling here. I have, this is kind of just a vintage Americana kind of theme to it. So I've used some lace here. I've got, again, some stamping, stencil. On most of the white pages, I've done a little bit of stenciling. One of the things we were required to use some digitals from DearJulieJulie, and so this is one of my sheets, this pretty bird image. And then I've just altered this little paper clip here to hold it. Here's some fiber ribbon through the holes on this spiral notebook. This is some unusual or unique paper, some just vintage stationery. This is another DearJulieJulie digital image, just made into some journaling paper. Another unusual paper, which is this vintage flashcard, and lace, and a bulb pin and bead dangle. Just a tag that I've made, collaged, stencil. This is an altered envelope, and she encouraged us to use a lot of book pages, and so this is just a book page that I've just turned into journaling paper. Oops, I want to turn that this way, I think. Book page. These are just some designer papers. This is an unusual paper. It's an ephemera, the packaging from some vintage rickrack. Just a card with a lace doily and a button. This is the center of this first signature, and I have used my ready ruffle here. This is just a book page dictionary because the paper is the thinnest, and so I could scrunch it and make it a little bit more like fabric, and then gathered it and embossed it or embellished it here with this little flower punch out and a button, some tissue paper, a little bit of ribbon through that. Here's some napkin decoupage stenciling. This is another one of Julie's really pretty digital images that I've made into just a journaling paper. This is a pocket that's just offset and just a tag scrap piece. A little bit of collage here. This is another unusual paper. It's vintage check. It can also be a tuck spot. Another really pretty digital from DearJulieJulie. And this is a vintage, it's a religious diploma of some kind of a attendance award, and part of that check. Lots of room to journal. Some journaling papers. This one is embossed and distressed. This was another one of the bases that I used. We had to use ribbon and lace in decorating, and so that's where I've done there. In that pocket, and it's like a double tuck. This is one of my embellished. We had to make 8 of these altered paper clips with just the base, and then we could come back and embellish it. I've used a die cut, punch out a little fabric, not fabric, it's a handmade paper scrap flower with just some cheesecloth fabric in the back, some more lace. This is just some scraps of paper for journaling. Another part of that beautiful DearJulieJulie printable. And this is another vintage ephemera, unusual paper. It's a postcard. And this came to a woman who lived in New Mexico. I was tickled to have that. This is just a little fold-over cluster, kind of an embellishment. Just a scrap piece of paper. Lots of room to journal. Here's another bit of ephemera from a DearJulieJulie digital, and this as well. This is the other half of that bird. Beautiful. I love that. Just gonna tuck that in here. Some rickrack trim there. This is a book page here in the center, and this is just an old photo print, just some scraps of lace and fiber. And this is a vintage playing card in here, and a vintage score sheet. This was one of my collage rolls, snippet roll, and I have made that into a pocket here with some handmade paper, stamping. This might have been the side tuck. You know, they all look so much alike. It was just bases, collaged bases. But I have everything posted on the group in the right spots. This is an altered charm, a paper clip, and this is one of the book page journaling cards that fold and flip. Julie always has such creative ideas for things to do, and even sometimes I don't always get the challenges done every month, but I try. I get started. A lot of times they just help me, you know, get my brain moving. So there's a little bit of fabric on this tab and some vintage tatting, a little piece to embellish that. It's just plain journaling spaces. Here's one of my collage tag bases that I then came in and altered it with some stenciling and a stamp and some paint. So a little mixed media there. This is again a book page journaling card that flips. I think this is where I used my sticker. And here's another collage. This probably came from the snippet roll base. Here's the final signature. This is a digital envelope made from one of the DearJulieJulie digitals. This is another altered paper clip, and this is like a flip journaling card, and it's been embellished with some paper cutouts, punches. This was another part of the roll, possibly the 3-inch roll that I've made into a belly band here, and then I have a stamp here was one of the things that we needed to use to embellish, and another piece of that digital, pretty digital from DearJulieJulie. This is a map and a glassine bag embellished with, this is a junk mail stamp. You know, those stamps that you get sometimes with address labels and whatever. And here is a book page tag, just with some collage on it there, and another little card with some scrappy embellishments there. This was an unusual paper that I found in a book. It just had notes. I was so thrilled to find that, just including that in this pocket. There's a little flip out there. So lots and lots of room to journal. This is my oh, I can see now why it won't come off. It's got a flap on the other side. This is my embellished envelope from Book Page. So we made the envelopes. We had to make 8 of them at least, and then we could and then do a basic collage, and then we could come back and embellish, which I have with this little piece of a cutout from the paper pad and punch out flower. And then this is recycled junk. It was but I love the colors, and I love the way it folds all the way out. So there's lots of room. to do journaling in that. This is just a recycled greeting card. And the center of the signature has some napkin decoupage here, an envelope, and some lace. This is just a recycled packaging, I believe, with a recipe on it. Might have even been part of a book page. But that's kind of close there, so I've put this little tab on that to make it easier to get in and out. Some more no, this is a sticker, a vellum sticker on some stenciling. This is another journal card that flips, and just a scrap. I think this came from one of the book pages, the flyleaf, and some lace. This video is long, I guess, because it's such a big book. This is a book page, paper to journal on. This is one of DearJulieJulie's digital ephemera. And this is a pocket that flips up, and you can journal here on the front, or the inside, I guess. More blank pages to write. This is a little side pocket with another vintage playing card and another digital from DearJulieJulie. Edith Holden page, and this vinyl cluster with just some pattern tissue and a closed pattern, part of an envelope. So this is just a scrap piece of junk and some other paper, some little punch-out card flowers, and sequins. And that's the back cover. The very back cover is plain, and that's the end. So that's my April All About That Base Junk Journal Challenge 2021 completed. And this book is going to go up on my Etsy, and I haven't created the listing yet, but I will do that pretty quick and put it on my Etsy. So thanks for joining me today. Thanks for watching, and thanks to Julie Fisher for another great challenge.